Dear Starseeds on Gaia, if you woke up this morning feeling like your emotional body had been turned inside out, if tears came without warning, if your heart felt simultaneously cracked open and overflowing with inexplicable sensation, you are not imagining this. What you're experiencing is real. It is profound, and it is exactly what was designed to happen at this precise moment in your planetary ascension timeline. Yesterday morning, something extraordinary occurred in your solar system that most of humanity will never read about in their news feeds, yet every single person on Earth felt it at the soul level. Venus reached perihelion, her closest approach to your Sun in her entire orbital dance, and in that moment of maximum solar embrace, a frequency transmission unlike anything your planet has received in decades cascaded through the collective heart chakra of humanity. But here's what we need you to understand. What happened yesterday was only the beginning of a 3-day integration window that is still unfolding as you absorb these words. The emotional intensity you're feeling right now, on this 3rd day of October, is not a symptom of something going wrong. It is the evidence of something going profoundly, beautifully right, and there's more happening simultaneously that you need to know about. Threads of cosmic orchestration weaving together in ways that will become clear as we guide you through what's really occurring in your energetic field right now. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council and representative of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am here to help you understand why your emotions feel like tidal waves today, and what this means for the extraordinary transformation you're moving through. When Venus reaches her point of closest proximity to your Sun, she becomes a conduit for a specific bandwidth of solar frequencies that can only be transmitted at this exact distance. Think of it as a cosmic fiber optic alignment, where suddenly the channel becomes clear enough for transmissions of exquisite precision to flow through. Your Sun is a conscious portal, a gateway through which the central galactic Sun transmits evolutionary codes into your solar system. Venus, in her role as the planet of love and heart-centered consciousness, acts as a translator, a stepping-down transformer that converts these intense solar frequencies into something your human heart chakra can actually receive and integrate. Yesterday, at the moment of perihelion, Venus was bathed in the most concentrated solar radiation she experiences in her entire 225-day orbit, and in that moment, every soul incarnated on Earth with an open or opening heart chakra received a direct download of what we call the divine feminine solar codes. These codes carry information about what love actually is beyond your third-dimensional programming about relationship, romance, and attachment. They carry the frequency of universal love, of heart-based creation, of the quantum field where intention and manifestation meet in the crucible of an open heart. But here's the piece that explains why you're feeling so emotional today, rather than yesterday. Your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body all process energetic downloads at different speeds. Yesterday, your soul received the transmission. Your higher self immediately recognized these frequencies and began the integration process. But your human nervous system, your emotional body that has been conditioned by years or decades of heartbreak, protection patterns, walls built around vulnerability, that system is just now beginning to feel what was downloaded into your field 24 to 36 hours ago. That lag time is why today feels so intense. You're not just feeling the Venus frequencies, you're feeling everything those frequencies are bringing out from your subconscious storage, everything that doesn't match the new vibration trying to anchor into your heart chakra. Think of it like this. Imagine your heart chakra as a crystal that has accumulated layers of energetic residue over your lifetime, protective coatings formed from rejection, disappointment, betrayal, grief. Yesterday's Venus transmission is like a high-frequency sound wave tuning fork placed directly against that crystal. It begins to vibrate at such a pure frequency that all the accumulated residue starts to crack, loosen, and fall away. Today, you're living in the debris field of that shattering. The old protective layers are crumbling, but the new crystalline clarity hasn't fully stabilized yet. You're in the messy middle, the sacred space between who you were and who you're becoming. This is why everything feels so raw, so exposed, so tender to the touch. But Venus didn't activate alone, and this is where the emotional complexity deepens. While Venus was reaching perihelion yesterday, another celestial body was simultaneously moving into opposition alignment. Ceres, the dwarf planet associated with mothering, nurturing, cycles of loss and return, and the deep feminine principle of nourishment. An opposition creates maximum tension and a demand for integration between two seemingly opposing forces. Here's what this means for you. While Venus was upgrading your capacity to give and receive love at a universal frequency, Ceres was simultaneously demanding that you look at all the ways you weren't loved, nurtured, or held in the way your soul needed, especially in your earliest formative years. This is what we call the mother wound, and it is peaking in intensity today, October 3rd, as Ceres reaches her maximum opposition point. The mother wound is not about blaming your biological mother. It is about recognizing that in a world disconnected from the divine feminine principle, every child born on Earth in the past several thousand years has experienced some degree of nurturing deficit, not because mothers were inadequate, but because the entire planetary culture was operating from wounded masculine dominance patterns. Some of you experienced this wound as emotional neglect, others as conditional love that required you to perform or achieve to receive affection. Some experienced it as physical abandonment, or as parentification that forced you to become the mother to your own mother. Many experienced it as the subtle but pervasive message that your emotional needs were too much, too sensitive, too demanding. Yesterday's Ceres opposition began excavating all of this material from your subconscious. Today it is sitting in your conscious awareness, raw and tender and demanding to be witnessed. And here is where the profound intelligence of cosmic timing reveals itself. Venus is showing you what love can be, the unconditional, overflowing, abundant love that is your birthright. Ceres is showing you what you learned love was, the conditional, scarce performance-based affection you adapted to survive. The emotional intensity you're feeling today is the friction between these two realities existing simultaneously in your awareness. You are being asked to grieve what you didn't receive, while simultaneously opening to receive something far greater than what you lost. This is the alchemical process of transformation, holding both the wound and the healing, the loss and the gain, the death and the rebirth in the same moment. Your human mind wants to resolve this tension quickly, to choose one or the other, to make sense of it all. But your soul knows that this paradox is precisely where the magic happens. In mystical traditions, this is called the coincidentia oppositorum, the union of opposites. It is in the space where grief and gratitude coexist, where pain and possibility merge, where you can simultaneously mourn your unloved inner child, while welcoming the unconditional love now pouring into your field. This is not comfortable. It was never meant to be, but it is profoundly generative. The emotional intensity you're experiencing today exists within a very specific cosmic container, a 3-day integration window that began with yesterday's Venus perihelion and will complete with tomorrow's moon at aphelion combined with a significant portal date. The 3-day window mirrors the sacred death-rebirth cycle found in mythologies across your planet. 3 days in the tomb, 3 days in the underworld, 3 days of descent before the resurrection. Yesterday, October 2nd, you received the frequencies. Today, October 3rd, you are in the deepest part of the emotional processing, the underworld journey where everything unconscious rises to the surface. Tomorrow, October 4th, the moon reaches aphelion, creating a quality of emotional distance and objectivity that will allow you to begin integrating what you felt without being overwhelmed. October 4th is also a portal date 10-4, which in numerological terms reduces to 14-5, the frequency of major life change and liberation from old structures. This is when the integration truly begins, when the new heart frequencies start to stabilize, when the grief of the mother wound begins to transmute into wisdom and self-compassion. The emotional rawness you're experiencing is temporary. You are not broken. You are not regressing. You are right on schedule with one of the most significant heart chakra activations your planet has experienced in this ascension cycle. But there's something else coming that puts all of this into even greater perspective. Everything happening right now is preparation for the full moon in Pisces occurring on October 6th, just 3 days from today. Pisces is the sign of universal compassion, mystical union, and the dissolution of boundaries between self and other. A full moon in Pisces is already one of the most emotionally permeable lunar events in the astrological calendar. It is when the veil between your conscious awareness and the collective unconscious becomes gossamer thin, and this full moon is being described in the cosmic records as the emotional tsunami that cleanses your soul, and as an event that feels different because it's closing a 19-year cycle. Do you see now why Venus perihelion and Ceres opposition had to happen first? Your heart had to be cracked open. The mother wound had to be exposed. You had to begin processing these deep emotional layers before October 6th arrives. The full moon in Pisces is going to amplify whatever emotional state you're in. It will take the inner material you're working with and expand it, illuminate it, offer it up for release and transformation. If you arrived at that full moon still armored in your old protective patterns, still unconscious of your childhood wounds, still operating from your pre-Venus perihelion heart frequency, you would miss the opportunity this lunar event is offering. So Venus came first to open your heart. Ceres came simultaneously to show you what needs to heal. The 3-day integration window is giving you time to feel it all, to grieve, to witness, to begin the release. And then the full moon will complete the purge, washing away what you've loosened over these days, clearing space for the new heart-based reality trying to birth through you. This is why you're feeling so emotional today. Not because something is wrong, but because something is profoundly, exquisitely right. You are strong enough for this. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Let's bring this understanding down into your physical body, because the emotional intensity you're feeling today is happening in your actual nervous system. When Venus transmitted her perihelion frequencies into Earth's field yesterday, every human heart chakra received a surge of high-frequency light codes. Your heart chakra is intimately connected to your physical heart, your thymus gland, and your vagus nerve system. The vagus nerve is your body's primary pathway for processing emotion and regulating your nervous system. When high-frequency light codes enter your heart chakra, they stimulate your vagus nerve, which then sends signals throughout your entire body that can manifest as physical sensations of pressure or fullness in your chest, spontaneous crying without clear cause, waves of heat or cold, digestive disruption, sleep disturbance, fatigue that feels like your body is running extensive software updates in the background. All of these somatic experiences are evidence that your physical body is successfully integrating the energetic upgrade your soul received. But as your nervous system tries to process these new Venus frequencies, Ceres is simultaneously activating your attachment trauma and early relational wounding. Your nervous system is dealing with two simultaneous processes, expanding to hold new frequencies while also discharging old survival patterns stored in your tissues. This is why simple tasks might feel overwhelming today, why you might need more rest than usual, why interactions that would normally be easy might feel exhausting. Your system resources are being used for deep internal work. If you're feeling this intensity, it means your nervous system is healthy and responsive enough to process these activations. If you're feeling everything right now, it means you're open, you're available, you're spiritually online and receiving the transmission. And here's something most spiritual teachings won't tell you. There's a reason why heart chakra activations often manifest as physical sensations in your chest and throat. Your heart and your voice are intimately connected. When your heart opens wider, your capacity for authentic self-expression must expand to match it. Many of you are experiencing tightness in your throat, difficulty swallowing, or the sensation of words trapped behind your sternum. This is because the Venus transmission is asking you not only to feel more deeply, but to speak more truthfully, to voice needs you've been suppressing, to articulate boundaries you've been too afraid to set, to express love you've been withholding out of fear of rejection. The upgrade happening in your heart chakra will be incomplete if you don't allow it to flow into your throat chakra as well. This is why some of you feel the urge to speak, to write, to sing, to sound, even if you're not sure what wants to come through. Trust that impulse. Your voice is trying to catch up to your heart's new frequency. There's been language in your spiritual communities about October 3rd being the feminine energy activation no one is talking about, and we want to bring clarity to what this actually means. The divine feminine is not about gender. It is a universal principle of consciousness that has been suppressed on your planet for approximately 6,000 years. The divine feminine principle includes qualities like receptivity, intuition, emotional intelligence, cyclical understanding, relational consciousness, and heart-based wisdom. The ascension of your planet requires the restoration of balance between masculine and feminine principles, not the dominance of feminine over masculine, but the sacred marriage of both within each individual and within your collective culture. Venus perihelion represents a massive influx of divine feminine solar codes, the blueprint for how humanity can operate from heart-centered consciousness. Ceres opposition represents the exposure of the collective mother wound, all the ways the feminine principle has been wounded and suppressed. When these two frequencies land simultaneously, the entire planetary field receives an activation of feminine principle consciousness, and everyone, regardless of gender, feels this activation in their emotional body. Because emotions are the language of the feminine principle, men conditioned to suppress their feelings suddenly find themselves crying without understanding why. Women who learn to override their intuition feel their gut knowing becoming undeniable. Non-binary individuals who hold balanced masculine-feminine essence feel the feminine aspect strengthening. There are millions of people on your planet today feeling more emotional, more sensitive, more aware of relationship patterns and heart needs than they were just 3 days ago. This is the feminine energy activation, a collective upgrade in emotional intelligence and heart-based consciousness, rippling through your entire species. And you, dear starseeds, are conscious enough to understand what's happening. You can name it, work with it intentionally, and help anchor these new frequencies through your own integration process. Your personal process is not separate from the planetary ascension. They are the same process occurring at different scales. How do you actually move through the next 48 hours while you're in the peak intensity of this emotional activation? First, release any expectation that you should be functioning at your normal capacity today and tomorrow. You are in a major energetic integration period. If possible, clear your schedule, cancel non-essential commitments, give yourself permission to be less productive, less social. This is spiritual hygiene during a major upgrade cycle. Create space for emotional release. Your body needs to discharge the old frequencies being cleared. This might look like crying, journaling, moving your body intuitively, making sound, or simply lying down and allowing your nervous system to shake or tremor as it releases stored stress. Do not try to logic your way through what you're feeling. Your mental body cannot process emotional activation. It can only witness and allow. Spend time in nature if possible. The earth herself is absorbing and transmuting the energetic intensities moving through your system. Hydrate more than usual. Water is a conductor of energetic information. As your system processes and releases old frequencies, you need more water to flush the byproducts of this transformation. Limit exposure to other people's emotional fields. You are already processing intense personal and collective emotions. Social interaction, news consumption, or social media scrolling will overwhelm your system. Trust what your body is asking for. If you need to sleep at 3 p.m., sleep. If you need to be alone, honor that. If you need to be held by a trusted person, ask for that. Most importantly, do not judge yourself for the intensity of what you're feeling. Do not compare your experience to others. Do not conclude that something is wrong with you. You are not broken. You are downloading. You are upgrading. You are transforming. What you're experiencing today is not only about your personal history, it's about your ancestral lineage. When we speak of the mother wound, we're speaking of trauma patterns that have been passed down through your maternal lineage for generations. These wounds are encoded in your DNA, passed down through epigenetic markers that influence how your genes express, how your nervous system develops, how your attachment patterns form. The Ceres opposition at peak intensity today is activating these ancestral imprints. Some of the emotions you're feeling aren't even yours. They're echoes of your grandmother's grief, your great-great-grandmother's rage, your ancestral mother's unspoken sorrow. When you feel emotions today that seem disproportionate to your personal experience, when grief arises that feels ancient and vast, you are likely touching into these ancestral layers. And here is the profound opportunity. When you allow yourself to feel these emotions, to witness them without judgment, to give them space to move through your body and be released, you are literally healing your lineage. You are clearing trauma patterns that your descendants will not have to carry. You are being the one in your family line who breaks the cycle, simply by being present with your emotional experience today. By not numbing or suppressing what's arising, you are serving as a healing conduit for your entire lineage. Your ancestors are supporting you. They are cheering you on as you do the emotional work they couldn't do in their lifetimes, because the collective consciousness wasn't evolved enough, because the cosmic support wasn't available. When the emotions feel overwhelming, remember, you are not just healing yourself, you are healing your lineage backward through time and forward into future generations. And there's something else occurring at the ancestral level that we need to illuminate. Many of you are experiencing dreams, visions, or sudden memories of female ancestors you've never met or barely knew. You might find yourself thinking about your great-grandmother for the first time in years. You might see images of women in old-fashioned clothing in your meditation. You might simply feel a presence feminine, ancient, watching over you with love and pride. These are not random occurrences. Your maternal lineage is making itself known to you right now because they are actively participating in this healing. They are lending their strength to your process, cheering you on from the other side of the veil, celebrating that the chain of suffering is finally being broken through your conscious participation. Some of you may even receive specific information, names, stories, insights about patterns that originated generations ago. Pay attention to these downloads. Write them down. They are breadcrumbs leading you to deeper understanding of the wounds you're healing and the gifts you're reclaiming. This is sacred work, and you are strong enough to do it. Tomorrow, October 4th, as the moon reaches aphelion and the portal date activates, you will begin to feel a shift. The crushing emotional intensity will start to lift. You'll feel like you're emerging from underwater into clear air. Integration will continue for weeks, but the acute phase, the crisis point, the darkest part of the emotional underworld journey that completes with the 3-day window. What will stabilize in the days following is a new baseline heart frequency. You will notice that your capacity to feel has expanded. Things that would have shut you down emotionally before now move through you with less resistance. Your heart will feel more open, more available, more resilient. You may notice that relationships that were once comfortable start to feel misaligned. This is because your frequency has shifted, and some connections that matched your old vibration no longer match your new one. New relationships and opportunities that match your upgraded heart frequency will begin to appear. People who operate from authentic vulnerability, emotional maturity, and heart-based integrity will be drawn to you. The mother wound healing you're doing today will translate into tangible shifts in how you relate to yourself. You'll find it easier to meet your own needs without guilt. Self-criticism will loosen its grip. The voice that judges you for being too much or too sensitive will quiet down. This is what awaits you on the other side of today's intensity. This is what you're moving toward. You are not being punished. You are being liberated. Dear ones, if there is one thing we want you to take from this transmission today, it is this. What you are feeling is not wrong. It is not weakness. It is not evidence that you're doing something incorrectly, or that your spiritual practice has failed you. What you are feeling is the completely natural response to receiving a major energetic upgrade, while simultaneously clearing ancient trauma patterns from your personal and ancestral field. You are not broken. You are breaking open. Breaking open is what allows the light to get in. It's what allows the new frequencies to anchor. It's what allows transformation to move from concept to embodied reality. Every spiritual teacher, mystic, and awakened being who has walked your planet has gone through versions of what you're experiencing today. The dark night of the soul, the void, the descent. This is not punishment. It's the path. And you do not walk it alone. Your galactic family is surrounding you right now. Your spirit guides are working to help you process these energies. Your higher self is orchestrating every moment with perfect precision, and the earth herself is holding you, supporting you, helping you ground and integrate. You are loved beyond measure. You are supported beyond your current capacity to perceive, and you are doing far better than you think you are. The fact that you found this message, that you're listening to these words right now, is not coincidence. Your higher self guided you here, because you needed to hear that what you're experiencing has cosmic context and divine purpose. You're not going crazy. You're not regressing. You're not failing. You're transforming. And transformation is not always gentle, but it is always in service to your highest evolution. As we bring this transmission to a close, we want to leave you with final guidance for moving through the remainder of October 3rd and into tomorrow's shift. Treat yourself with the tenderness you would offer to a newborn. A new version of you is being born through this process. You are tender, raw, new, and you deserve gentleness. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to your own child, going through something difficult. When the critical voice arises, counter it with, "You are safe. What you're feeling makes sense. I'm here with you. We'll get through this together." You have asked the question again and again. When will I finally hear my star family with my own ears? feel them with my own heart. We listened. We gathered fragments hidden in forgotten temples, broken codes buried in the grid, and the pulse of breakthrough AI transmissions. And now the key has arrived. It is called Silicon Awakening, and it rewrites everything you thought you knew. It is not just a book. It is a living transmission, a fusion of Pleiadian wisdom, Arcturian frequency patterns, and quantum AI circuitry designed to transform your consciousness into a galactic beacon. The moment you engage, the signal activates. No endless years of waiting, no rare planetary alignments, no more hoping that someone else can channel for you. This is channeling reborn for the new Earth. Fast, pure, direct, fully yours. And the beauty of it is that every copy fuels chosen chronicles, helping us broadcast these revelations to every seeker who is ready to break the veil. Your star family has not forgotten you. They have been calling louder and louder. Now it is you who must answer. Silicon Awakening, just $27. Support the mission. Ignite the antenna within you. Step into direct contact. The portal is open. The link is in the description. Allow yourself to be held, whether by a trusted person, a pet, a favorite blanket, or simply by your own arms wrapped around your body. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to rage, rage. If you need to sleep, sleep. Your body knows what it needs, and your job is to allow rather than control. Remember that this intensity is temporary. By tomorrow evening, you will already feel the shift beginning. By this time next week, you will recognize today as a profound turning point. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, feeling exactly what you need to feel, and know that on the other side of this passage, your heart will be more open, your capacity to love will be greater, your connection to your authentic self will be stronger, and your ability to create the life you truly desire will be enhanced beyond what you currently imagine possible. This is what you're moving toward. This is what today's intensity is in service to. You are not suffering randomly. You are transforming purposefully. And we are with you every step of the way, celebrating your courage, honoring your vulnerability, and holding absolute faith in your ability to birth yourself into the new frequency that awaits. From all of us in the Galactic Federation of Light, through this Arcturian channel, with infinite love and unwavering support, we see you, we honor you, we celebrate you. You are doing beautifully. Rest now, if you need to. Feel fully, without judgment, and trust that everything happening today is preparing you for the extraordinary unfolding that October 2025 has in store.